2023 was an absolute monster of a year. It was epic in all the greatest ways. It had some lows here and there, but in terms of video games, in terms of TV shows, in terms of movies, and in terms of just content consumption, it was amazing. So with that being said, I want to start off the year of 2024 by basically putting everything that I consumed in a tier list. What up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I am your host, Mike Fury, and I make informative videos just like this one. So please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. And hey guys, so essentially, last year I dropped the ball. Let's just be very clear about it. I want to be very transparent. I dropped the ball. I did not produce as much content as I wanted to, so I want to fix this year with not only a big video to start off my whole entire content craze, but also go ahead and give you guys basically what I was doing throughout the whole entirety of 2023. Because even though I didn't produce a lot of content, I did consume an absolute boatload, a smorgasbord, if you will, of content. Now, this is a tier list. You guys have seen them before. Nothing real new. It's just me actually getting to do one at my own, basically, peril. Because this is over 150 different icons, which I've already placed on the actual tier list themselves. You'll see a couple of them because I don't want to bore you guys with the stuff that I didn't consume, even though I will address them accordingly. Now, obviously, this is my list. This is not up for debate. I am biased with some of these things. I am not biased with some of these things. And there is a complete difference between a review score and the ranking itself. So for example, something could be a 9 out of 10 and still actually make it to like a B on the scale of what greatness this year was. If you guys understand my drift, it could be score really high in its genre, but in terms of the things that I did this year, it might be lower than an actual masterpiece or something along those lines. Lastly, I want to make sure that you guys understand this. Some of the things that appear on the tier list itself don't have to have come out in 2023. I did consume a lot of things that released other years. I love attacking my backlog. I love attacking the craziness that is my massive multimedia backlog. So essentially, there's movies that I want to watch, TV shows that I want to watch, anime that I want to watch. Those things will make an appearance here on the list as well. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is the tier list. Things that I did not play and did not watch will be addressed at the end of the video. Also, keep in mind, if you guys want to give me a little bit of feedback, if you guys want my picture to be massive or in a different place on the screen whenever I do any of these, let me know. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right into it. Imitation Game. If you've never watched Imitation Game, it's about Alan Turing, and it is based in World War II, you know, going up against the enemy. I'm not going to go ahead and tell them that's an easy way to get demonetized, but this is Alan Turing, who was a mathematician and essentially the father of all modern computers. And this guy helped basically the Alliance, or we're calling the Alliance, well, basically helped the winning side conquer Enigma. Enigma was the communication machine for the enemy. Let's call it like that. It is an absolutely fantastic movie. It's Benedict Cumberbatch. You may know him as Doctor Strange, and Keira Knightley, you may know her as Elizabeth from Pirates of the Caribbean. And also, you might know Sherlock. He's also great in Sherlock as well. But Benedict Cumberbatch does a masterful role. I also forgot to mention, you guys, I have been nursing a little bit of a I don't know what is wrong with my throat. It's a little bit of a tickle. It's just like bothering me a little bit. So if I sound a little different, keep that in mind as well. And if you see a couple of jump cuts, it's because I've started coughing, and you know, I don't want you guys to be subjected to that level of noise. But anyways, back to the point. Imitation Game. Imitation Game is a really good movie, and I'm gonna put it on great. It's a really good movie, 2 great performances. It gives you a lot of information. It's historical. It's just a really good movie. Setting is awesome. The information you get is awesome. Performances are awesome. It's just one of those that it's just an all-around really good movie. Next up, Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan Season 4 aired. Funny enough, I have not watched the ending, so gosh, you know, watch yourselves putting spoilers down at the end. People tell me that I'm not gonna like the ending. That doesn't matter because I rewatched seasons 1 through 4, if I'm not mistaken, or season 1 through 3, and then I started season 4 again. It's S-Class. it's one of my favorite animes of all time. We don't have to get too deep into it. The characters, I stand with Eren by far for one simple fact, and I will talk about this whenever I get to review the whole entire series. You do not mess with Mom. You do not. He had me there. We'll burn everything to the ground for my mother. Like that's just how I feel. So I stand with him from the start. And if you've watched Attack on Titan, you know the very first episode what happens. So let's go ahead. Next up, Heavenly Delusion. Heavenly Delusion is a really cool anime. It's a sci-fi kind of mystery with a lot of different tropes and a lot of things getting tackled. It is a mind to say, I'm not gonna say the actual word, but it is weird. It's interesting. The way that the story is told is completely different. I find it to be a really, really good anime. Like really, really good. It might be amazing. Let's go ahead and finish it. Maybe I need to reorder a couple of things, but Heavenly Delusion, by far, one of the better animes to come out this year. Goat Simulator. It's okay. I played 20 minutes of it, 30 minutes of it. I'm like, I can see how this is fun for a certain crowd, and I love ridiculousness, but it just wasn't for me. Mortal Kombat 9, the resurgence of Mortal Kombat that brought us back from the 3D era to the 2D fighter. It's great. It's still really, really great. It's just, it's not going to be higher on the list because I have the others that I also played and getting ready for Mortal Kombat 1. It's great. It's a great Mortal Kombat game, and it is essentially one of the better ones if you look at the whole entire catalog of Mortal Kombat games. It's up there in the top, it could be top 5, top 10, contingent upon, yeah. Well, yeah, there's only hasn't been, yeah, it has to be top 5. Top 5. Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. It was good. It was a good time. I played it before I got to Cosmic Shake, which is a little bit further on this list. It was a fun time. Cool platformer, cool enemies. You got a lot of really good top tier dialogue as well, good music as well. It is one of those, like, if anybody tells, like, I would give that to my son or to my daughter and be like, hey, I don't have them, but I'll let them play that and fully understand that nothing here is really gonna turn them off or kind of be of negative impact to their whatever the case may be, right? Like it's just cool, safe fun. Broforce is the first indie I ever got to play, guys. Very first indie, and now they did the final update, and the update itself just added so much. Broforce is amazing. Broforce is absolutely amazing. It's fun with friends. It's fun by yourself. The references to movies, superstars, it is just jam-packed fun, and the final update just added more to it. It is excellent. Now, Dark Envoy. I really, really need to get to Dark Envoy. Dark Envoy is, imagine a CRPG, a budgeted, if you know Baldur's Gate, the mastery that is Baldur's Gate 3 and how epic it is. This is that type of RPG, choice of consequence. It's this world that mixes technology and magic, so it has a different approach to it as well. It has tons of dialogue and really solid gameplay as well. I just didn't get to review it, and I didn't get a key, so I did demo it though, and it is a strong. Gets our first demo of the tier list as well. It's strong. It's just a strong game. So I'm definitely excited to actually continue and buy it and then play it as well. Cosmic Shake. Cosmic Shake, if you look at earlier in the video, how I alluded to a game that can possibly be a 9 out of 10, but not be too high on the list. Cosmic Shake is one of them, yo. Cosmic Shake is a great 9 out of 10. Everything graphically, presentation wise, gameplay wise, it's just a top tier SpongeBob like platformer. It is a very good time, and it's one of the first games that I completed last year. It's a great game in terms of the things that happened during this year, so therefore you guys could understand what I mean by that. The Cosmic Shake is a blast. I highly recommend. I hope that it's sold enough for anybody to go ahead and make another one so people could continue to play. But that the whole studio and everybody who worked on that, really great job. Bum Simulator. I'm just a funny guy, man. Like, I like Bum Simulator a lot. It's you're just the most grotesque, absurd simulation that you could possibly get your hands on. You get pigeon powers, you fight the man. Like, it's just a really fun, not trying to say that being homeless is fun, but this game finds a way to make it enjoyable, and it's just a really good time. I highly recommend it. Anybody who has a sense of humor, play Bum Simulator. Next up, we have Mashle. Mashle's really good. I'll just say this about Mashle. Mashle is essentially grabbing One Punch Man and Harry Potter and putting them together with a little bit of Black Clover. Just a little tiny bit of Black Clover sprinkled on top. That is Mashle. It is fun. It's hysterical. The main character is funny as hell because he obviously, just like Asta in Black Clover, doesn't have powers. He doesn't have magic, but all he does is have a sick build and goes to the gym. It's ridiculous, it's fun, but he got hands. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time with Mashle. It's not better than Heavenly Delusion, because Heavenly Delusion just has top tier storytelling, but it's dope. I thoroughly enjoyed Mashle, for sure. Midnight in Paris. Midnight in Paris is a really good movie. I'm gonna put it at the end. It's borderline good, but it's a really great movie. So essentially it's Owen Wilson, which you've seen in Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Nights. You've seen him in Loki. You've seen him in Wedding Crashers. He's in a bunch of stuff. He's also in Midnight in Paris. He's the star character. He's the protagonist. And essentially his wife, who's played by Rachel McAdams, you know her from the Notebook if you've seen it. You also know her. She's in. I think she's in Marvel as well, if I'm not mistaken, or that might be something else. But point is, he goes back in time. He goes to Paris. They go to Paris. He's enjoying the sights. He's artsy. He's a director, or he's if I'm not mistaken, he's a Hollywood writer. And he gets to go back in time to meet a bunch of different artists from that peak era. We're talking about Picasso, Salvador Dali, individuals like that, and even goes back further than that to actually get real big understanding to live in your current time, to understand that those times were great, but every single decade, generation is gonna be flooded with people that be like, oh, it was really good back then, but the times that we're in right now are really, really good. So it kind of gives them perspective on that. It's just a really good movie. The ending is the part that is a little wonky to some people, but I still believe that it's a great movie. Next up, Beneath Oresa. Beneath Oresa is tough. I like Beneath Oresa. Ooh, Beneath Oresa is amazing, man. Okay, so essentially, think of Slay the Spire, which is a card deck roguelike, or card builder roguelike. Now think of that. Think of the Borderlands cell shaded art style, and think of the cards instead of, because in Slay the Spire they do very minimal animations. Here everything is done in real time, so essentially if you play a main character and you get a bunch of slash cards, he'll slash them in combos, and it looks so fluid and so cool. There's definitely a great amount of love and care into that title. It has a bunch of characters for you to play and a bunch of roguelike elements, decision making, losing health, sacrificing health for better cards. It is so good, and I just want more people to know about it. Fun fact, my biggest tweet ever is me showing off the gameplay of the demo, and I was just super happy for them, and I'm happy that they launched it, and I'm happy it's such a good title. Beneath Oresa is amazing in my personal opinion. Next up, Sniper Elite. Sniper Elite 5 is another amazing title. I love palette cleansers. I love them. I don't want to be enthralled with the notions of a grander universe sometimes. I just want to shoot stuff, watch it go boom, watch the shrapnel of cars and explosions devour my enemies to shreds, and just like, it is absurd. It is highly addictive. There's a skill level here. There's a creativity here. It is by far one of my favorite things to do, is just to go and play a whole entire map and find different creative ways to take advantage of my enemies. It is super fun. Sniper Elite 5, the complete edition, is definitely amazing. Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is getting up there. It's getting good. It's definitely getting good. I'm still gonna put it at great. The multiplayer is top tier. I love the multiplayer. They're naturally adding more and more things to it. Eventually, Halo's gonna be one of those games that I'm gonna talk about, and it's gonna appear in different lists because I'm just naturally gonna go back to it. Halo Infinite is doing a really good job. Last year, they would have probably been around good, but now they're at great. I think they're doing a really good job. Good job, team. And I'm just excited for the future of Halo Infinite. Crazy Rich Asians is another great movie. I enjoyed Crazy Rich Asians more than Midnight in Paris. Midnight in Paris is cool, but Crazy Rich Asians does the thing where since I've watched so many movies as a person who is studying to become a director, I watched Crazy Rich Asians, and it was subverting my expectations throughout the whole entire movie. I thought it was going one way, but it did another thing, and then it was really refreshing for me as a moviegoer and as a movie cinephile, well, essentially a cinephile. But it was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think that I think that's a great placement. I like Imitation Game more. Yeah, I like Imitation Game more than, definitely like Imitation more than Crazy Rich Asians, but I like Crazy Rich Asians more than Midnight in Paris. This was gonna be one of those titles that you guys have beef with me over, but Persona 5 Tactica makes it so I want my time back. Now, that's not that the game is bad. I'm just all Persona'd out. I'm gonna be honest. I'm Persona'd out, or at least Persona 5'd out. Like, I'm cool. The story of Joker can finish, can end, it just is what it is. I don't need more Joker, but ever since he's almost, well, borderline icon, at least an icon when it comes to Persona games at this point, that he was able to get into Super Smash Brothers. He was able to go ahead and get 2 spin-offs now at this point. So I'm all Persona'd out. I played it. I thought it was cool. The art style took me right out of it because I would have probably stuck with it a little bit longer, but the art style was enough for me, so I'm cool with it. Persona 5 Tactica makes it to our first F, or I want my time back. Now, Monster Train is great. But Monster Train is great, but the problem is with Monster Train is that there's no story mode in there. But Monster Train is great. Monster Train is fun. The level of complexity to the game, along with the amount of cards that they are, along with the creative ways that you can attach these cards and make your main, is absolutely crazy. Make the main stronger. It's absolutely nuts. It is a really good deck builder. If you like Slay the Spire, that is a perfect game for you to play. For you to go ahead and check out this year. That's one game missing from the list. Slay the Spire. I played a little bit more of it this year. I enjoyed it. It's such a good title. It's on, if I'm not mistaken, I played the Plus version on Apple Arcade. But we'll have Monster Train represent both of them. Trepang Squared. Trepang Squared is awesome. Trepang Squared is essentially, imagine what the Fear franchise is, add slow motion, add awesome gunplay, and it's essentially an evolution to the Fear franchise. It's cool. It's super duper dope. And funny enough, it's one of the better shooters of the year, and it is around $30. Around $30, and now you can find it on sale because it's been out for a little bit, so you can find it even cheaper at around $25-$20. Oh, that's a steal. That's a steal. Really good mechanics, really fun gameplay. Trepang Squared is great. Trepang Squared is, more than Mortal Kombat? It'll go more than Mortal Kombat. But I had more fun with Mashle than, that's fun. Okay. Another one that you guys probably had no idea that I played, but I did play, and I absolutely love. This game is absolutely masterful. It is fun as hell. I hope and pray that we get a sequel. Sunset Overdrive makes it to my S class, so that gives you guys an impression of how my review is gonna go. The review's already written. I just need to record it. Sunset Overdrive was a star last year. I did not know I was gonna fall in love with that world, with that gameplay so much. So much. It is absurd of how good Sunset Overdrive is. The Killer, based on a comic. The Killer is a really dope movie. It's about an assassin who's, contracted, the usual assassin trope, contracted for a top tier target. But again, another movie that subverts my expectations. It is great. It has this really it's almost like a playful tone to it, but it's also a little dreadful. I did mention that it's based on a comic of the same name. It's Michael Fassbender. You may know him. He plays Steve Jobs in the Steve Jobs movie. He plays, he's also part of the Assassin's Creed franchise. He is Magneto in X-Men. He's great. It's Michael Fassbender. He is awesome. This also gives a lot of nods to the Dominican Republic, which, if you know anything about me, I'm Dominican. It is just great. It takes you to the island, but it's just one silly mistake in how it has a ripple effect throughout to have this craziness and have this assassin just go and do his thing. It's a dope movie. It is great. I definitely enjoyed it more than Crazy Rich Asians and more than Midnight in Paris. Next up, Destiny 2, I want my time back. My boys started playing it, and then they stopped playing it, and I was like, all right, cool. I could have done a lot of better things with my time than play Destiny. And it's not that it's a bad game, but then we have all the negative controversies that are coming out of that studio, that Sony might do a hostile takeover. It's wild. It's wild. I want my time back. I want no business with that whatsoever. Futurama came back this year. It is absolutely great. It is back in form. We back, baby. Like, I love Futurama. Futurama is still amazing to me. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. Mortal Kombat XL. Mortal Kombat XL is higher than Mortal Kombat 9, of course. I love Mortal Kombat XL, the different styles that you can switch the characters with. I don't like it that not each style has their own fatality. I don't like that part, but hey, it is what it is. The costumes, the roster, the combat kids, the everything. Mortal Kombat XL is top tier Mortal Kombat in my personal opinion. It's a great time. It's hands down a great time. Shadow and Bone was canceled at Netflix for I don't know what reasons, but the season 2 was still pretty good. And hopefully I am a big fan. I'm such a big fan. I bought the books. Hopefully they come back and somebody picks it up. Something happens where they're able to continue the show, or they're in talks and bring it back. They do something, because that show deserves more than what it got. It was a good. It was a great season. It was a great season, and ends in another cliffhanger. It's tough. I like it. I liked it a lot. I like Shadowbone. I like the universe. Imagine, if I could explain it to you some way, imagine Avatar: The Last Airbender with a little bit of Babylon Berlin. Like that, like it is that, and it's like the different cultures and the different powers, and it's really, really cool, which just gets me excited for that world and actually jumping into the books. Yeah, it's one of those worlds that really, like, it speaks to me. Let's say that. RoboQuest is Borderlands roguelike. That's essentially what it is. There's tons of robots to use, tons of guns, really awesome gameplay, a level of verticality to everything. It is just a really fun time. If you let it pass you in 2023, go back and play it. It is one of those top tier roguelikes that anybody and everybody should get their hands on and at least try it out. RoboQuest. AEW Fight Forever. I would like my time back. I played it, I reviewed it, I got a code. THQ, shout out to THQ. Most of the time, THQ gets me a code, which is just, it's love. Thank you guys. They've given me codes for at least 4 different games now at this point. But sadly, THQ dropped the ball on this one. This is supposed to be an homage to all the older wrestling games, and it was just missing so much in terms of content, so much in terms of love and care. Like I did not enjoy my time with AEW Fight Forever. Some people were gonna like it, but hey, I would like my time back. Next up, Way of the House Husband. Way of the House Husband is amazing. Way of the House Husband. Okay, so here's the framework. Ex-Yakuza mob boss, or ex-assassin, essentially criminal, decides to become a house husband. That's all you need to know. So now he looks at breakfast as if it was a mob hit, or like he's gonna go ahead and hit somebody. He is out of the ordinary, crazy. He talks to people in Yakuza verbiage, and people just like, what is wrong? What is up with him? But he has to deal with all the tropes of being a house husband. He has to cook, he has to clean, he has to do the groceries, he has to deal with the in-laws. Like it's absurd. It's absurd. It's wonderful. It's right up my alley. I love Way of the House Husband. It is great. Silo is also great. Silo sits right behind Mastro. Silo was great. Ends in this great it's not really a twist, or it's actually, what a twist. It's this little twist cliffhanger, and essentially it is Fallout before you get to Fallout. Think of the same type of atmosphere as I would like to say Metro. If you've played the Metro games, a little bit of the same atmosphere as Fallout. It is that post-apocalyptic, but you don't get to see the wasteland because they're all in a missile silo and they all kind of have to live and take care of each other, but there's things going on that are a little twisted and a little weird. There's tons of intrigue in there. It's super interesting, based on a book as well. Silo is definitely one of the better watches that I had this year. I replayed Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11 is amazing, and it's everything I would want in a Mortal Kombat game, minus all the grinding and microtransactions. That's all I gotta tell you. It has amazing fatalities, amazing characters. It has a bunch of awesome guest characters as well. Great stages, a really good story. The Aftermath story just added more to it. Like, it's great. Atomic Heart. Atomic Heart is really, I'm gonna leave it right at the end. It's probably gonna be right at the end. A lot of people didn't like Atomic Heart. I gave it like around 5 or 6 hours. I knew, essentially, this is the reason why I don't review games that are coming out with DLC. They already had a DLC roadmap prepped for Atomic Heart. And I'm like, I'm not gonna review this game if DLC is coming out. I'm not even gonna buy it until the DLC comes out, and then I could get it all for one simple price. That's not the type of person I am. Now, sometimes they are gonna, make you double dip or have you go and buy the game and then buy the season pass and et cetera, but it's just not one of those titles, at least for me. That doesn't mean that it was a bad title. It was a little divisive. Some people thought it was good. Some people thought it was bad. I enjoy it because I like the creativity and the different worlds and the different guns and like all of that. Like, people thought that the dialogue for the cringy little robot, the sexy robot lady or the sexy robot box was cringy. Like, yeah, but I'm like, that's not game breaking for me. But anyways, Atomic Heart makes it onto my great Baldur's Gate 3's an S-Class Hall of Fame. It is, I played 10 hours of it. If you go on to my Steam page right now, which I will leave down in the description below, if you go down there right now, fam, it's 10 hours. I am well aware of what what Larian could do. I have played Divinity Original Sin 1. I've played Divinity Original Sin 2. Baldur's Gate is just the maximum evolution of all of that. And brought it on top of that, add Super Saiyan above that. Like, it is absurd. And that's only 10 hours in. I was like, I'm not even gonna touch you. Not even gonna do it. I'll let all the patches, all the extra stuff come out, and then we'll dive into you when we have the time. But I don't need any more. I don't need. I know very well that will stand. That pick right there of putting it in Hall of Fame will stand the test of time. Blue-Eyed Samurai. I started and I'm finishing it now. Blue-Eyed Samurai is dope. Dope. I wish I would have copped 2 of these, but Blue-Eyed Samurai is super good, super duper good. I will leave it at started because I did it. I technically started it and now I'm finishing it now in 2024. But if I were to put it somewhere, it's there. But you know what? I'm gonna leave it at amazing because it is amazing. Like, I haven't finished it yet, but it is by far amazing. So, and I'm more than halfway through it. Yeah, we'll leave it at Blue-Eyed Samurai is just good. I'll probably be done by the end. Be done with it by the end of the week. Apologies, but it is amazing. It's amazing. Broken Roads. I played the demo. Really good CRPG post-apocalyptic adventure in Australia. Choice and consequence. Wishlist it. If you see it on demo, yeah, wishlist. I'm not saying pre-order it, but just go check it out. Check it out, definitely. Perish. I would like my time back. Perish does all the things wrong that RoboQuest does right. To be honest with you guys. It's just there's no story. There's no intriguing gameplay. There's really no je ne sais quoi. It's missing a lot of things, even though the whole gold aesthetic and Greek, like, it's cool, but it needs more. It just needs more. So I would like my time back. Octopath Traveler. Funny enough, I forgot to put it, but did not play. I forgot to put it in, did not play, but there you go. We'll talk about that later. One Piece Warriors 3, I am a big fan of the One Piece Warrior games. I'm a really big fan of Musu games. I've been playing Musu games, or in other words, the games with warriors in them. So Dynasty Warriors, One Piece Warriors, all of the Warriors titles, except the Warriors from Rockstar. They've done great. They've done nothing but short of a great job of basically grabbing the One Piece world and putting it in a setting where you get to defeat a bunch of Marines and a bunch of other pirates. It just makes sense. It's just one of those things that makes sense. It's really good, and now it's coming out with DLC. It's awesome. Soul Calibur 6. Soul Calibur 6, I'm gonna put right at the end. Whoops, no, Atomic Heart. Soul Calibur 6 is fun. I played it, I enjoyed it. I want to see the next evolution of it. It does a lot of really great things, but it's also at the same time, like, it's just Soul Calibur 6 kind of thing, which is great. It's just not gonna beat any of the things that are above it. Rotwood, I demoed it. Rotwood's gonna be so good. So if you know the people who make Don't Starve, if you know the people who make Griftlands, if you know the people, like, they don't miss. It's Clay Entertainment. They do not miss. Oxygen not included. Like, whenever you think of Supermassive games, you think of Hades, you think of Bastion, you think of Transistor, you think of Pyre. The next company you should think of after them is Clay Entertainment, or K Entertainment. Clay Entertainment, now they're doing an action roguelike with just, a really cool, it's not really comic booky, but it is a really cool animation, really cool art style, and it's fun. It is really, really fun, and I can't wait to play it even more. And it's co-op as well. Rotwood, I tested it. It wasn't part of the demo. I got the testing, you know how they allow you to request access to it. I tested the beta. It's tough. I can't wait to play it. Actually, I'm gonna put it in the front. Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is good. The issue with Attack on Titan is the fact that there's not a lot of enemies to take care of. So in a Musou game where it's literally built off of the amount of enemies and kills you can rack up, in Attack on Titan, you only have the Titans to kill. So it's a little bit different. Not saying it's a bad thing. It's just, it's good. It's just good. Sonic Adventure 2. Oh, the Adventure 2 battle. Adventure 2 battle is, it makes it on this for sheer nostalgic purposes. It just does. It's the soundtrack, the turning Super Sonic and Super Shadow at the end to fight Chaos. Like, everything about Sonic Adventure 2 is peak Sonic, in my personal opinion. Marvel Snap, I lost a lot of hours into Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap is top tier. Marvel Snap is amazing. If you can, and you like Marvel, and you want a mobile game that doesn't cheat you, that doesn't have gacha mechanics, that earns your dollar, Marvel Snap. Redemption Reapers, I would like my time back. Not a good strategy RPG. It's essentially it's like a darker Fire Emblem, but it just doesn't have the mechanics. It doesn't have the personality that a Fire Emblem does. Very simple, very bare bones. Give me my time back. For the King is top tier. For the King is really, really good as a hexagonal choice consequence roguelike with a lot of personality to it and a lot of fun and different characters and different builds. It's tough. It's super duper tough. Where do I put it though? That's the question. I'm gonna put it right in front of Monster Train. For the King is tough. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is cool. It's really good. It's really good. I played the first level. It is more Ratchet and Clank, but it's not. I like Rift Apart, but I thought that the mechanic, the dimension breaking, the dimension rifts, the cracks in time, or however you want to call them, the broken windows. I thought that they were gonna do a little bit more. I played the first 2 levels of it. You could essentially put it into started as well if you wanted to. I didn't finish it, but I played it. I enjoyed it. It's more Ratchet and Clank, which is always gonna be a good time. I just thought that it was gonna land more. My expectations was gonna land it in the S masterpiece or the A's, and to me it's another great. Really great Ratchet and Clank title. That's it. Laika. If I would have played Laika this year, it would have landed it up here. Laika is the first Motorvania. Imagine Metroid, Castlevania, but now on a motorcycle. And a really dark story. Really dark story with a unique art style. But I only demoed it and I didn't get the key, so it lands on the demo. But Laika, like I said, if it's on demo, it's on started or anything like that, go check it out. Go check it out. Darkness. The darkness is good. Based on a comic book, quad wielding is dope. Dark story ends on a cliffhanger as well. There's a lot of cliffhangers on this book. And also keep in mind, if you've noticed, a lot of the things are gonna live in the B to C, and maybe a little bit of more of A, but Darkness was a good time. It was a good time. 8 hours, killed it, fun time, dark story, a cool main protagonist as well, good presentation, fun gameplay, fun shooter, essentially. Next up, Mad Max is an A. Mad Max was amazing. I had no idea Mad Max was gonna be that good. The combat, the car combat, the presentation, it was fun. It was so much fun, and just the collectibles. It was just a really good time. I thoroughly enjoyed Mad Max, and if you want, check out my review on it. Batman, another game that I also reviewed. That's a masterpiece, guys. Batman Arkham City is a masterpiece. Batman Arkham City does not do no wrong. That city is awesome to explore. The different secrets, the mysteries that you could get into, the side characters, the plethora of amazing voice actors that just voiced everything. It is, and on top of that, top tier combat. It is, being Batman can never be that fun ever again. Well, until I play probably like Dark Knight or something like that, right? Or Arkham Knight. Benedict Fox, or the last case of Benedict Fox, was, I'll put it at the end. It is borderline good, borderline okay for me. It has a really cool setting and a really simple Metroidvania-like gameplay and a decent story, but I was expecting a little bit more. It did not reach my expectations. It kind of just did a good job at them. Raven's Watch is dope. Raven's Watch, ooh, I'm excited for Raven's Watch. Raven's Watch is imagine Hades, but with folklore. So essentially you get myths and legends coming to be your characters. You got Beowulf, you got Sun Wukong, you got, it's that. Like, if you can think of that level of like fantasy characters, and along with the same gameplay of Curse of the Dead Gods, because it's from the same people, by the way. So they're at a weird spot right now, because I'm imagining that they're trying to put out more patches and get more patches and also make more sales and things like that. But if they just give them a little bit more time to cook, they're not gonna let us down. Clash, Artifacts of Chaos. None of you guys have heard of this game, and it's a shame, but a lot of you guys need to play this game. It is a third-person action martial arts title. It is different. I'm telling you guys, nobody believes me, but Clash is great. Clash, Artifacts of Chaos, by far one of the biggest surprises of the year. Oh my God, 9 Years of Shadows. 9 Years of Shadows. 9 Years of Shadows, if you look up their Steam page right now, a lot of people will have like an opinion on them. They'll be like, oh, it really doesn't do something new, but in reality, it's just an homage to all the older Castlevanias, all the older Metroids. It is top tier presentation. There is this beautiful piano, or not piano, I apologize, a saxophone in, like, it's part of the soundtrack to my life. It's absurdly good, and the gameplay is really fun. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. It is an homage to old Metroidvanias, and I endorsed the crap out of it. I reviewed it. I got it early. They gave it to me like 2 weeks early, and I've been in constant communication. Now they're making a brand new game called, if I'm not mistaken, it's Mariachi Legends. Man, I'm excited for this studio. I am happy for them. I hope that people continue to get to know what is 9 Years of Shadows. It's cool. It's a really good, really fun Metroidvania. Redfall. I would like my time back, sadly. And it's funny because people are saying that now it's decent now. Yeah, I might try it out later, like, because I have this thing where I go out and I play like games that are either divisive or don't have, or like they get better with time, which is sometimes is good, sometimes is bad, because you change your opinion on games. But sadly at this point, Redfall, yeah, nah, I want my time back. It's either Humanite Z or Humanat Z, or Humanities. It's something like that. It's spelled a little funky. It's essentially this isometric scavenger survival open world game where essentially you play like if you were to play Diablo, and you go collecting different resources, collecting different guns, surviving, getting cars. And right now it's in the early access. You still need to let it cook a little bit. Also, I have to play with a keyboard. I'm not the biggest keyboard fan. I like playing with a controller, so I'm waiting for them to get controller support. But I think that with time, right now people do like it. By the way, it has a good amount of reviews and a good amount of very positive reviews. I am hopeful that they just continue to add to it and make it a better experience. But right now for me, it's just good. Jagged Alliance 3 was tough. Jagged Alliance 3 was super tough, super duper tough. Again, THQ gave me the code. I played it. It's awesome. I'm happy for it. DLC's coming. So, isometric strategy RPG with your own little mercenary squad, a little bit of quirks. If you like games like Wasteland 3, if you like games like XCOM, games like that, Jagged Alliance 3 is right up your alley. I'm super happy for them. They really killed it. Gunbrella, I demoed. Gunbrella is awesome. Gunbrella is a little bit different. Imagine a quirkier, I want to say James Bond, but with an umbrella that blocks bullets. it's a little crazy. So it's side-scrolling action, a little bit of Metroidvania-ness to it, but it's just a really cool title with a really cool art style, really cool tone as well, and different. I want more people to know about Gunbrella, so I'm eventually gonna get my hands on it, and I'm eventually gonna review it as well. Death in the Water. Whoops, I put this in the wrong place. Death in the Water. Creepy, scary, a little bit of like jump scare, horror, stuff underwater. Yo, nothing scarier than stuff underwater. I don't care what anybody says. You can tell me about anything, about zombies, you can tell me about aliens. Nothing is scarier than the stuff that lives in the damn water, yo. I swear to God. And that, yo, biggest scares came from Death in the Water 2. It was absurd. It was absolutely absurd. Let me drink some water, because God damn it. All right, Remnant 2. Remnant 2 is tough. It's great. Remnant 2, sadly, my friends didn't want to play it, so I had to play with a bunch of randos, so it kind of hurt my experience. And also, it's one of those games that you just continue to play, and it's just fun. It's just really fun. I also played the original Remnant, which should be coming up in no time. But Remnant 2 is great. Remnant 2 is definitely great. One Piece Warriors 3 does the same thing, just different ways to actually get the same job done. I'm a big One Piece fan, so it's obviously gonna do good on the list. It is a very good time, and you could get it dirt cheap, like around $8 for the gold edition. If you ever want to jump into One Piece and play a good One Piece game, definitely. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed completing it. Chainsaw Man. I enjoyed Chainsaw Man more than Chainsaw Man's amazing. Chainsaw Man's amazing. The world, it has a certain level of bleakness to it that I absolutely adore, but at the same time, it's this character who just like, god damn, what a life, yo. Like you've had nothing, like zero, like, so you kind of just fall for him because you want him to succeed, you want him to have a good life. And now he has this demon chainsaw doggy, which is super cute, by the way, living inside of him. Shout out to Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man just made a good mark, made a good impression in me. Returnal is a game that I want to get busy in this year. This year I'm gonna be Returnal. I played like around maybe 4 hours of it, 4 or 5 hours of it. Returnal's top tier. Returnal might jump as well, but Returnal is top tier. Returnal's a great game. I don't care what anybody says. Returnal's a really good game, yo. Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is different, man. Darkest Dungeon. Oh, I get goosebumps thinking about Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon is the type of bleakness and dread that I love, and at the same time making it a roguelike, and it's just right up my alley. It's like, hey, here's this thing that you like. And it's funny, look how long it took me to play the Darkest Dungeon game. 2023. What can I tell you guys? I be slacking. Dave the Diver's an S tier. There's no, you guys can have the indie conversation, whatever y'all want. Nothing about Dave the Diver is nothing short of spectacular. Nothing about it is short of spectacular. Dave the Diver is top tier. Both the mini games, it's like a combination of 2 mini games. The roguelikeness of going into the water and dying and coming back with different types of fish, different types of equipment, and trying out different guns. For some reason, there's guns. There's leveled up guns waiting for you down there. It's that mini game along with managing your own restaurant type of mini game with the quirky characters, with the amount of content that you get. And now they're coming out with DLC. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Last year I didn't watch a lot of comedy specials. I only watched one, and it was right at the end of the year, and that is Dave Chappelle's The Dreamer. Dave Chappelle is top tier, best comedian of all time, and at least in my era. I've been watching him forever, from the Chappelle Show to his Get Me Ja Rule on the phone, like all of that. I even have my own little Dave Chappelle impression, but it was a masterclass. He's as great as ever. It's Dave Chappelle, and he makes it into an amazing. Dungeons and Dragons, funny enough, in the Baldur's Gate world, where Baldur's Gate is an S-class, Dungeons and Dragons, the movie did a really good job, and I'm glad that it kind of just showed everybody that, hey, we could grab an IP based on board games and video games, and we can make really cool movies out of that. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Dungeons and Dragons, guys. I'll put it right behind Silo. Dungeons and Dragons was ill. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Gen V is amazing. Gen V, spinoff from The Boys. You guys know how I feel about The Boys if you've been watching the channel. Gen V's tough stuff, yo. Tough stuff. Everything I like about The Boys, and people were even arguing that Gen V might be even better. So, I don't know about all of that, but let's see. The Burial. The Burial is really good. It's Jamie Foxx. Thank God that he is healthy and now he can act and do all the things that he loves to do, and he's here with his family. Jamie Foxx, who was sick, with Tommy Lee Jones, and he plays a lawyer who goes up against giants, and they call him even the Giant Killer. It's based off of the lawyer who goes up against Disney and goes up against another, and there was another conglomerate. But yeah, essentially trying to save this guy's family, essentially. Like, he's saving his family's birthright, and he's literally out of his zone because he does a different type of law. So now he becomes this defense attorney, and it's a beautiful story. It's really touching. It's just a good story, definitely. And one of the better movies to come out last year as well from Amazon Prime, The Burial, with Tommy Lee Jones and Jamie Foxx. It's on Amazon Prime right now. Dead Space is top tier. Dead Space was amazing. Dead Space is some amazing stuff. Right now I'm just putting them, and then we'll probably organize them a little bit. But Dead Space and that remake, a lot of people, I'll tell you guys this little thing, because I want you guys to understand this, and this is why I like waiting, and I'm very patient. I got Dead Space for $7 on the Xbox store. That game came out early last year, and I got it late last year for $7. Talk about a deal. Dust and Neon was a game that came out. I'm gonna put it in good, because I haven't touched it after the patches. A lot of people are saying that the patches have done wonders to it. It came out and it was solid, but it had a repetition issue. But then they patched it, they've added some content to it. I'm gonna go back and check it out, but right now I'm gonna put it at the top tier of good. Dead by Daylight is, for me, Hall of Fame, yo. There's not a year goes by that I don't play it at least 50 times. It's a darling for me. It's a guilty pleasure. I don't play as survivors. I don't want to do teamwork. I am here to be a sadist. I am here to be out of my damn mind. I'm here to have my power fantasy. I am here to get all the demons out of my soul. I'm here to play Dead by Daylight as a killer. That's just the way it is. You'll never find me doing anything else. But it's my guy. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Eastern Exorcist didn't really do it for me. It's okay. It has a pretty decent art. It has a nice art style, decent gameplay. I played it and I let it go. I was like, I'm not interested. Elemental, one of the best movies of the year, and might be a masterpiece. Am I willing to put it at the masterpiece level? I'm putting it at the masterpiece level. Elemental is a rom-com hidden behind this beautiful man and his story of how him and his wife met and the trials and tribulations of being of different cultures. And he said it's an allegory for his and his wife's relationship. His storytelling, it brought me to tears. It's such a beautiful movie. It's moving. It is one of the best. It's up there for me with Soul. Like, Soul is top tier as well for me. Like, I really, really enjoy Elemental. One of the best movies of last year, indeed. Everspace 2 is awesome. Everspace 2, let them come out with some crazy DLC. Let's find out. Everspace 2 has top tier. It's an action RPG, action spaceship RPG. It's essentially what it is. For all you Star Fox people out there, go play Everspace. For all you people who like the combat, who wanted a more action RPG version of Starfield, go play Everspace 2. Do it. You're welcome. Everspace 2 is awesome. Apex Legends. I fell out of love for Apex Legends this year again. It's just the content, the time invested for what I'm getting out of it is the ROI, or the return on my investment, is no longer something that I wanna do. I might go back to it this year, I might not. Apex's Legend is still great, but I was having a much more fun. I was having a funner time with Halo Infinite, so I'll put it right behind it. One Piece, the TV show. The TV show was actually the best animated TV show you can possibly get your hands on. I'm putting it was a great watch. Great watch. Is not better than Silo though. And it's not better than Dungeons and Dragons. I'll put it right in front of the killer. Fire Emblem Engage. Y'all know how I like about how much I love Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Fire Emblem makes it, it's still a great Fire Emblem. It's lacking in the depth and the sheer like scale of Three Houses, but it's also lacking in the level of storytelling of Awakening. Like, it's somewhere in between. I think it's still top 5, but I do believe that it is by far the best looking one. Like, that animation is top tier stuff as well. So I'll put it's somewhere here, somewhere. I had more fun than Remnant, but I really like Trepang. Like, yeah, it's somewhere around that range. Street Fighter Ultra was a good time. It is a good time, but in terms of just how everything, some people are like, oh, I really love Street Fighter 4, but I play better stuff. Remnant 2 is also another one. Remnant from the Ashes, the first game. It was a good time. Played it without friends. Played it just literally going into the game mode, allowing the matchmaking to help me out, and just had a good time. Dredge is top tier. Dredge is amazing. Dredge is so good. It's like so good. It's absurd how good it is. It's like it's fantastic. I love Lovecraftian things, guys. I love it, from Lovecraft Country to the little tits and bits and pieces in Maneater. Like, I love Lovecraftian stuff. So whenever I get the chance to interact with it, you know, I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna enjoy it. And then Dredge gave the Dave the Diver that type of DLC as well, with Cthulhu monsters as well. Oh, it's gonna be cool. Cthulhu monsters, Lovecraftian horrors. Starfield's getting a bad rap, right? But Starfield is still a really good game, yo. Like, you guys can say whatever you want, but Starfield, to me, I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Starfield, and there we go. That's probably more or less. I dropped a lot of time into Starfield. If you want, check my Steam profile if you want to know. Cocoon is superb. Cocoon is really, really good. Didn't finish it. It's like around 5 hours. I did it around half the game, and I'm like, oh, this is just really good stuff. I'm gonna go back and finish it though. I just didn't have time, especially at the end of the year. I just didn't have time to go back to everything. But I'm gonna put it in. I'll put it behind Raven Watch. Cocoon was really good. Wanted Dead, want my time back. That is the worst game I played last year. The worst, I think. We'll talk about it later. But it's everything. Weird combat, stiff, bad animations, bad. Like, it was just a weird game. Weird. Hell's Paradise is really, really good. I'm gonna put it right behind Blue Eye Samurai. I really like Gabimaru the Hollow. Really, like, even his name is cool, yo. But the animation is superb. The storytelling is awesome. It is great, 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 great stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the better movies. Guardians of the Galaxy might be amazing. I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is amazing. The more I think about it, yeah, it's amazing. It lands up there. It lands up there. The closing of that chapter. Now James Gunn is obviously the creative director, I think, for DC. He's obviously going to work on his. Now, I don't know if he's going to do elsewhere. He said he wants to kind of do Kingdom Come. He's working on his own vision of DC, and hopefully he gets the job done. I have full faith in him. He's a beast. He did Suicide Squad. This man knows movies. He definitely knows movies. Succession. I ain't even finished season 4. Again, do not spoil anything for me, but I did rewatch season 1 and I watched season 2. I'm ready for season 3 and season 4. That's all I gotta say. Succession is top tier, period. You don't gotta go too far. Holiday. I love rom-coms, you guys. It's just a thing. Holiday was good. Like, it's nothing crazy. Emma Roberts, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is her name. She stars in it. I like the guest star, not the guest star, the other protagonist as well. The guy, like, it was cool. It was a cute movie. Nothing. I'm not gonna go crazy about it, but it was cool. It was cute. Essentially, that's all I can really say about it. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse might be the best Spider-Man movie ever created. Sue me. It is the highest, to this point, it is the highest film on this list. That is such a good movie. I love that movie to death. Music, everything. Music, animation, combat, storytelling, everything. Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, I did not watch. I knew even when making the did not watch. I did not watch it. Where's the movie side? Here we go. Did not watch it, sadly. War Tales, tactical mercenary game. Great. It's awesome. Decision making, the whole going around the map, taking up resources, the decision making to like how to react to certain characters in the world, how to figure stuff out. Like, it's tough, and keeping everybody alive, it's tough. Cult of the Lamb. I played it on my Switch. A lot of people like it. I think the absurdity of it helps it out a lot. I want to be respectful because it is a really great game. I'm hovering on the great list because it is. But I don't think I've played it enough to put it in front of Monster Train. Monster Train is just fun. It's really good. If I think of stuff that I won't put them in anywhere. But all right. Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct is pretty good, yo. Killer Instinct, now with the new patch and the new anniversary collection, Killer Instinct might have a resurgence. I'm hopeful. Killer Instinct, I'll put it at the bottom of great. I had a really good time with it. I had a really good time doing the ultras and doing their finishers or the executions or their ultimates. Killer Instinct is fun, and it's something that comes from my childhood. I'm definitely nostalgic for it, but in terms of, I've just played greater things in 2023. Gear 5 Luffy, or the One Piece anime, just so you guys know. S tier. That's not. We don't even gotta get into it. Wano was a masterclass of animation at the end. Did it drag on for a little bit? Absolutely. Do we have our gripes with it? Absolutely as well. But now Oda is swinging for the fences now in the anime, and it's just everybody needs to start catching up as soon as possible. Jedi Fallen Order. Great title. Great title. I sadly have been whack at Star Wars this year, not watching the things that I should be watching. That's why Mandalorian and Ahsoka are down below. But Jedi Fallen Order, along with Jedi Survivor, I didn't get to I didn't get to play Jedi Survivor somewhere around here. I could see it somewhere. Yep, right here. But Jedi Fallen Order was a fun game. Fun game. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And it's just, it gives you that power fantasy of being a Jedi. Even though, in terms of how powerful you can be, he's not the most powerful person you could possibly be. Jujutsu Kaisen. And again, I'm only halfway through season 2. Haven't finished season 2. Jujutsu Kaisen might be a masterpiece, guys. Jujutsu, that flashback when we go see Toji. I'm sorry, Fujitoro. Yo. Ah, man. Might be in S class. It might, next time we see it, it might be up here. But we'll wait on that. John Wick 4. John Wick 4 is amazing. I love John Wick 4. It's funny how very few movies can do that. Can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5, 6, 7, whatever the case may be, and little by little get better and better and better and better and better. Like, that's one of those things. Also, somebody needs to grab the Continental and redo that. Fam, no. That universe is way too cool for you guys to mess it up by giving us garbage shows, yo. It's not, no. Justice League, I watched the first season, I rewatched the first season of Justice League. Justice League is still good, yo. Still really good. And that's like 15 years later. Justice League is still really good. I love Justice League. Justice League is one of my favorites. Metal Gear Solid, Rising Revengeance is amazing. Amazing. That combat and how epic it is, the soundtrack and how ridiculous it can possibly be. I love when things are just campy and ridiculous and over the top. This man's walking on missiles, walking down buildings, running down, cutting everything. It's absurd in all the best ways. I rewatched The Last Dance. The Last Dance is S-class, yo. As far as documentaries are concerned, I'll rewatch it again. It's just such a good, well-constructed docu-series. It is really fun to watch, really quotable, really enjoyable, and eye-opening, and iconic at this point, yeah. Pathway was a good time, man. Pathway doesn't have the legs that a lot of the other roguelikes do, but Pathway as an Indiana Jones roguelite with tactical gameplay, with tactical combat, Pathway stuff. I would love for them to do a Pathway 2. Bigger budget, Pathway 2, and just go crazy with it. Indiana Jones, I watched it. Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark. Wasn't my first time watching it. I've rewatched it like at least 7 times at this point. Still amazing to this day. I'm not gonna talk about Indy. I didn't watch the movie, but not gonna talk about Indy. We're almost at the end of the list, guys. And it only took us like about an hour. Lovebirds is, again, better than Holiday. Lovebirds might be great. Yeah, Lovebirds is great. Issa Rae's great. I can't remember his name, but I know Issa Rae was great in the movie. They both did a really good job. It's one of those, in one night, we're gonna go through this experience that's gonna life-changing, that's gonna change our lives, and then we're gonna end up back together while we're having trouble type of movie. It's fun, good, it's excellent. Super Mario was a really fun time. I enjoyed Super Mario. It's better than the Burial, better than, let me see. It's gonna fit somewhere. I'll put it right behind Dungeons and Dragons. But the Super Mario movie was fun. People can talk all they want about Chris Pratt. I think there was a lot of good performances, including Jack Black and Charlie Day. There was a lot of really good stuff there. Animation on top of that. So Super Mario, I'm happy to see the next one. Spider-Man 2 is, for lack of a better word, amazing. Spider-Man 2, that opening, just the opening itself, the Sandman opening, hard. It was so good, like. And on top of that, the improvements to the web slinging, the combat, the story, even though it's not as strong of a story as the first Spider-Man, still really good. One Piece Red goes along with the Well, goes to good, and I know people saying good, only good. Yeah, no, there's better One Piece movies than One Piece Red. I don't know, like people could say whatever they want, but half of it being a sing along, like, and on top of that, giving us little tidbits and little pieces of certain things, and then talking about Shanks. Yes, we got more information on Shanks, but yeah. It's not. It's just not. It doesn't stack up to One World, and it's One World, the one with Zephyr in it, and the best one. Well, even even the one with the casino. The casino one is much better. I can't remember the name of it. The one with Gil Tesoro. That one's really good as well. But the best one is the one. God damn it! Why am I drawing a blank? It's the one with Bullet. Dead Island. I replayed both of the Dead Island games. They're okay. They're good. They are good. Fun time. Didn't really want to sing its praises because there were so many issues still lingering, but at the same time I enjoyed it. I don't want to sing its praises though. But it's just an okay time. It's a good time. Big Mouse is top tier. Big Mouse is top tier, and now the next season is gonna be the last one. I'm gonna miss it, but Big Mouse is just top tier. I'm not gonna get too much. I'm not even gonna show any graphics for it. Big Mouse is top tier. Anybody who knows. Dark Tide. I played Dark Tide this year. Ooh, I'm gonna go. I played it on the Xbox to just test it out because it was on Game Pass. I'm gonna buy it on PC and we're gonna go through that bad boy. I was thoroughly impressed. We're gonna put that right in front of Remnant 2. I had a better time with Remnant 2. The Miles Morales, the ending to Miles Morales, even though it is the thing that I hate, which is basically sold separately DLC, Miles Morales is really good. Miles Morales was really good as a piece of DLC, regardless of how anybody may feel. Mortal Kombat was really good as well. I'm gonna put it right behind it. It's just the same thing behind Starfield. Where's Starfield at? Right behind Starfield. Starfield and Mortal Kombat, people wanted them to be 10 out of 10s, and sadly they missed the mark a little bit, but that doesn't mean that they're bad games. I thoroughly enjoyed them. I think they're both great games, and I think that with DLCs and patches and just more love to them, they're just gonna get better. It's just the way it is. Mortal Sin is another game that does everything that Perish does, but better. Mortal Sin's good. Mortal Sin, Perish sadly is an action roguelike first-person shooter. Mortal Sin is an action roguelike first-person shooter, but just gets roguelike elements right, gets animation right, gets storytelling right. Like there's so many cool things to Mortal Sin, and I highly recommend anybody to go check it out if you like action roguelikes. This is the first time I've ever watched Hercule Poirot movie. So Murder on the Orient Express, I like it a lot. I like it so much, it might be the best great that I watched this year. It is so good, so good, and it had me guessing all the way up until the end. But I was happy that I watched it. Happy. I think I also, by the way, because I don't think I see it down here, but I'll talk about it in a minute. But I think that I forgot to put Death on the Nile in this list. Death on the Nile would be down here because I guessed and I knew who it was, but because it only made sense to me at the time. But yeah. Anybody who knows me knows anything about God of War. God of War Valhalla came out. I beat it already. Wasted no time. It took me like around 6 hours. God of War Valhalla, Ragnarok, and then the Valhalla DLC. And then there are talks that we might get a standalone for Atreus. Let's see. That's top tier. It's S-class for me, guys. Castlevania Nocturnal. Nocturnal's still really good. It's not as good as the OG Castlevania. Like if I compare season 1 of Castlevania with season 1 of Nocturne. Not as good, but still really good. Still enjoyable. We're near the end, guys. Oppenheimer. S-class. Best movie I watched last year. Cinematography on point. Nolan does not miss. I don't care what you guys say. Nolan is amazing. This man is on a completely different level. The historical aspect of it, the mind game of it, the imagery, the sexualness of it, like the sexuality of it, everything, and the times, the different films that he used during the time. He black and white, half in color. My man's a genius. He's just a genius. James Gunn was also right about The Flash. The Flash is great. The Flash was a great time. I enjoyed The Flash. I would rewatch The Flash. He was right. He didn't talk about Aquaman. Aquaman's nowhere to be found and not even on this list. I didn't touch it. But he was right about The Flash. The Flash is thoroughly enjoyable. The Only Living Boy in New York. It's okay. It's a rom-com. Kate Beckinsale sports this amazing New York accent, and she looks absolutely amazing. If you don't know who Kate Beckinsale is, think Underworld, think Click with Adam Sandler. She's amazing, but it just didn't do it for me. Critical Thinking is actually a pretty good movie. Critical Thinking, John Leguizamo, he talks about the chess team that won nationals coming from Miami. It's dope. It's a dope movie with a dope message, and it's based on a real story. Invincible, even though I started it and I should be over here, Invincible is way too good to put it over here. Invincible is amazing. Invincible is up there. Can't say much more. Invincible is doing its thing right now, and I'm happy for it. Sisu, a lot of people didn't know this, but along with doing John Wick, my man did a movie, a very simplistic movie about a gold digger who, again, it's World War II based, so there's the people that I'm not gonna talk about, but yeah, action-packed, crazy, gory awesomeness. It's a good time. It's a really good time. I like Sisu more than... Yeah, probably right. That would probably be the best place for it, right behind One Piece. Pluto did not watch, sadly. It happens. It happens. Well, I am watching it this year, though. We're gonna talk about it next. We're gonna talk about it next time I do this list. Next, we have Air, the movie about the pitch to get Michael Jordan onto Nike. It was a good time. I enjoyed The Burial more, but it was a good time with a star-studded cast: Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, like Jason Bateman, I think his name is, and Viola Davis. Great time. Plane was a good movie. Plane is Mike Coulter, Gerard Butler, so essentially Luke Cage and Leonidas from 300. It has more action than Argo, than Ben Affleck's Argo, but it's a fun time. It's a good watch. Good watch. If I'm not mistaken, I think we bought it because it was just like $10 to watch it. But yeah, good movie. Record of Ragnarok. People could say anything they want about Record of Ragnarok. I love Record of Ragnarok. It is absurd. It is insane. It is all the campiness you could possibly ask for. It's tough. People don't like it. Part 2 came out. Buddha going crazy. Like, Record of Ragnarok is dope. Like, I don't care what anybody says. You may not like it because it doesn't have the top tier storytelling of One Piece. Guess what? Not everything needs to have the top tier storytelling of One Piece. But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it probably right at the end, because to me it's amazing. To me it's amazing and it's good. Okay, maybe not. I'm being hyperbolic. I did enjoy it more than all the other animes though. But it's not A tier. That is what it is. Red Dead Redemption, it's a masterpiece. I don't gotta talk too much. I replayed it, played it this time with the DLC. Still good. Masterpiece. RE4, S tier, Hall of Fame. I like the original. Played like 4 hours of this and I was like, we're gonna go back to this. It's just that good. It really is just that good. Resident Evil 4 definitely is one of the best games of the year as well. Just to let you guys know. Street Fighter 5, great. Street Fighter 5 was great. I'll put it right in front of Miles Morales. Street Fighter 5, and I'd let Street Fighter 6 just walk by me. It happens, but hey. Scott Pilgrim Faces the World. Scott Pilgrim is amazing. Scott Pilgrim is so much fun. I didn't watch the show. That's another thing. I knew I forgot another what's it called? The Scott Pilgrim, the show, the animated show. I let it walk me by, even though it's just a retelling of the comic book version of what's based on the movie. It's one of those, but it's fun. It's fun. The music, the action, the honoring of the source material. It's awesome. Death and Taxes is gonna be one of these games. What? It's probably by the time I'm finished, it's gonna be here. But right now, it's mid-tier 80s. It's enjoyable. It's different. It's very simplistic, but at the same time, it is a very good game to play. Check out Death and Taxes. And now we're down to like the final 6, you guys. Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow, my favorite Castlevania game of all time. S tier for me. Space Marine. Action-packed Space Marine game. Now I'm excited for the sequel. It looks, and the sequel looks amazing. Sequel looks amazing. It was a good time. It was definitely a good time. I'm going to put it, I had more fun with this than, no, probably right in front of The Darkness. Last of Us, the show. What can I say? It's Last of Us. One of the best shows probably of all time, with probably the best episode. The Bill and Frank episode is going to go down in history as one of the best episodes ever. I promise you. 300 Spartans! Salute! I love 300. 300 is amazing to me. Based on the comic book, I'm reading the comic book. Next year, we're also going to add comic books to this list and make it even longer and even talk. But probably next year, we'll probably try to do it live. That way, I could just like make a whole big thing of it. West of the Dead. West of the Dead was really, really fun, really cool. Ron Perlman's voice. And it is cool mechanics, cool weapons, good roguelikes, or roguelike elements to it. I like it a lot. It happens to be in front of I probably enjoyed it. No, there we go. I enjoyed it more than Monster Train, less than Cult of the Lamb. WrestleQuest played the demo, but people tell me it's grand. People tell me that it's great, that it has a lot of good stuff to it. Played the demo. It was fun. It was enjoyable. I love the art style of it. I love the old school turn-based RPG of it. Like the different cool moves that you can do. Like, I'm with it. I'm with WrestleQuest. Wolverine's Origins, or X-Men Origins Wolverine. It is, I'll put it, no, I had more fun being Wolverine than a lot of this stuff. Yep, more than Miles Morales. More fun than Cosmic Shake? Yeah, I think so. More fun than Mortal Kombat. I had a lot of fun doing this. Probably in front of Trepang. Probably in front of Trepang. Yeah, that's right about right. The goriness of it, the action-packed nature of it, how crazy and brutal it can be, how the different costumes and homages, and all, along with adding a lot more to what the story is, because it really is it's not a good story for the movie, but even adding to it and making it even better in the Uncaged edition, which adds more things to it. I like it. It's a fun time. Zome, or Bucket List of the Dead. Zom 100. I started it. It should be here if I left it here, but I'm more than halfway through. I like Bucket List of the Dead. It gives a lot of people, it should give a lot of people perspective. I'm gonna put it right behind Mashal though. I think I enjoyed Mashal a little bit more, but Zom 100 is fun. It's a really good fun time. The One Piece manga. One Piece manga is S tier. Egghead Island's going crazy, you guys. I'm just gonna say it like that. Egghead's going crazy. And now we're down to the last 2. This is Symphony of War Legends. It adds more chapters. This is DLC. More chapters, more characters, different scenarios. It is tough. It is super fun, super cool, and it just adds to what already is a compelling package, makes it even better. I'm gonna put it right on the great. Because at the end of the day, it just builds off of what is already established and just adds more content along with New Game Plus. It's great. And then Phantom Liberty, I did not finish it. I did start it. Enough time for me to actually give my thoughts on it. It's amazing. It is amazing. It's probably more amazing than... Yeah, it might be... If I'm putting it like this... Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, I do want to address the things that you guys saw at the start. These are all the movies, shows, and video games that I missed at the end. So that's why did not play and did not watch. I do not know why these symbols are here. But Killers of the Flower Moon, Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, finally came out on Apple TV. I didn't get the chance to actually see it in theaters. Came out on Apple TV. I'm gonna watch it. Haunting of Venice, along with Death in the Nile. Death in the Nile, Haunting of Venice is the third of the Hercule Poirot's. So it goes Murder on Orient Express, and then goes Death in the Nile, and then goes Haunting in Venice. And I haven't seen Haunting in Venice. The Covenant almost went straight. It did not do anything in the box office. It's essentially a flop. But boy, is it a really, really, really good movie. I watched it on January 2nd. Rebel Moon, haven't watched it still. I'm gonna wait until the second movie comes out, watch them together to see if it's a lot more comprehensive, cohesive package. A lot of people have issues with it, so I left it in the back burner. The Creator with John David Washington, that's his name. The Creator. Didn't get my hands on it. Didn't watch it. It's on Hulu right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack that. Same with Indiana Jones. Didn't have the time. Now I'm starting to get sick. Now my sinuses are acting up. But Dial of Destiny, a lot of people are a little mixed up on it, but Indiana Jones is one of my favorite franchises. I've seen all three movies, the original three, and I watched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm with it. I'm just with it. Even if it's not as good as Raiders of the Lost Ark, because I do believe that Raiders of the Lost Ark is what a lot of people consider to be the peak, and it's just been going downhill ever since. A lot of people think that. Ahsoka, I've been whack at Star Wars in 2023. Mandalorian, the same. Spy Family, I will be tackling this year. Wheel of Time, Season 2, didn't get to it. Reacher 2, didn't get to it. Or Reacher Season 2. Same thing with Sweet Tooth, Season 2, didn't get to it. Shield Hero, Rise of the Shield Hero, now it's on Season 3, which is why I was like, oh, Season 3 is coming real soon. Alright, so we're just gonna continue that. Did not watch it. Vinland Saga is one of the ones that hurt me the most, because I love Vinland Saga in Season 1. It would have probably been up here, but I just let it pass by me. Same thing with Demon Slayer. I haven't watched Demon Slayer since the end of Mugen Train, since after, yeah. The end of Mugen Train is when I watched it. I haven't even watched all the awesomeness because people like spoiling. So the thing is that when I get spoiled, I feel very, because I don't get to watch it in its organic form. It's just what it is. It'd be like, oh, you shouldn't be slow, but I'm like, all right, cool, man. Alan Wake 2. Haven't played Alan Wake 1, so I haven't played Alan Wake 2. Diablo 4 is another one that I shouldn't have let get ahead of me, because I'm a big fan of Diablo. Diablo 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. Diablo 2 is amazing. Diablo 4, a lot of people, Diablo 2 is amazing. Diablo 4 is divisive. It's a little controversial, but people say that it's still a really fun time, especially if you can play it with a group of people. So I'm with it. Super Mario RPG and also Metroid. I bought both of these games and I opened them, I just never played them. If you're wondering why my Metroid looks a little bit different than yours, just open it up and switch the paper. People might be confused, like, why is it so different? Yeah. Bought them both, did not get to play either of them. Street Fighter 6 is another one, I just let it pass me by. Pizza Tower, which is essentially the successor to Wario World 4, essentially. Let it pass me by. Bolt's Gun, didn't get my chance to play it. Endless Dungeon, you gotta let them cook a little bit. I'm gonna let them cook to see if they can, because a lot of people seem to have a repetition issue with it. Let's see if they can cook it and fix it and make it better. Jedi Survivor, all the PC stuff, because I wanted to play it, and then the PC version came out and people were like, oh no, the PC version's whack, so that kind of didn't give me a lot of hope to play on PC. So now I'm probably gonna play it on a PlayStation 5. Witchfire, I can't wait to get Witchfire on Steam. I am not gonna play it on that damn Epic launcher. I don't want to play Witchfire over there. Lethal Company, I caught it very late, very, very late. I did not know that it was so popular. Sons of the Forest, I'm a big fan of The Forest. I want to see if I could get my friends on PC so we could play Sons of the Forest, or wait until Sons of the Forest comes to console. Even though it is launching later on in February, I think it's in February, March, something like along those lines. Final Fantasy 15. I'm not the biggest Final Fantasy guy. As you can tell, if you ever watched Final Fantasy, the my review for Final Fantasy, I think I removed it already, but my original review for Final Fantasy VII, the remake, is a little confusing. So I'm like, I'm not right now, not saying that they're terrible games. I just didn't like feel motivated to go play it. So that's one. Dead Island 2 also on Epic. I'm waiting for that to come to PC. Armored Core 4, I'll get to that eventually because it's different from what is a Souls-like, and is a different, just a whole entire different type of game. And then we already talked about Octopath Traveler and Pluto. That is my 2023 list. We've already started, and I have at least maybe 4 or 5 different titles already on the new list for 2024. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go ahead and change my camera so I can talk to you guys directly. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna leave everything, including the actual list itself, so you guys could just add to it. And if you guys want to tag me and post it on X or whatever Twitter is called now, you can do that. I'm gonna also post this on Facebook. I'm gonna post this everywhere, so you guys could go ahead and we can interact and talk about, or guys could judge me on some of the choices or some of the things that I've missed. Trust me, I deserve it. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get this year started with an amazing video, which at least I think I had a lot of fun putting this list together and talking about all of this with you guys. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button, and make sure to check out all the links down in the description below. Steam profile there, Amazon link, Patreon, $1 a day keeps the landlord away. I'm your host, Mike Fury. It's been a complete pleasure. Until next time, Mike.